This video is brought to you by KniveShipFree, the best place to buy knives, period. Hi gang, Rob here. It is the morning of 28 November 2023. Coming to you today on, I don't know, a sunny 23-degree blustery winter-like fall morning in Northeast Indiana. Coming on today to do a knife review. And it is a sponsored knife review by KniveShipFree. And there's all kinds of bias on this one, guys. Just all kinds of bias. Not only did KniveShipFree, the exclusive retailer for this particular Bark River knife, sponsor the video, but also the designer of the video, of the knife, is also the creator of the video. So just know that going in. So yeah, this knife review will be of this beast right here. The Bark River Gunny Sidekick, designed by yours truly, at least the blade portion, and sold by KniveShipFree. We ordered 700 of these Gunny Sidekicks in CPM Magnacut. And we dropped them, what, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? And I think there, as last time I checked a couple days ago, there were just over 200 left. So for those of you who have been waiting to hear how they turned out, that's what this video is going to be about. So this is the box they'll come in. Well, that is the box label. The knife that came in this one is an antique ivory micarta with black liners and mosaic pins. Inside the box, you're going to get the usual Bark River stuff. Tissue paper for the knife, a blade guard sleeve, and this sheath, which in this particular knife is treated with Bark River's waterproof treatment. Looks like there's also going to be a Bark River Knives card in the box with a QR code. But that's not really why anybody's here. What we want to look at, because frankly, the Gunny Sidekick, not a new design at this point. This is the fourth run of them. First one in Magnacut. But we want to look at today, how did they turn out? And there are a few areas that we like to look at on Bark River knives. We want to look at the grinds, we want to look at the symmetry, we want to look at the hafting. And then I'll share you my impressions, share with you my impressions on how the steel turned out. These three have all been sharpened. The one in the Jade G10 with blue liners is mine. And then we have a black canvas micarta with red liners and hollow pins. And then the knife that came in that box, the antique ivory with mosaic pins. Okay. So let's look at a couple crucial areas that we like to look at on Bark River knives. First of all, let's look at grind symmetry, and specifically, how did they do on the very high saber convex grind and the swedge? So we've got just about 1/8 of an inch of flat here on the offside, and the swedge comes back, 5/8 of an inch from the peak of the clip. How do we do over here? Well, we're just about the same, guys. And let's look down the spine. Where does the swedge start? See if we can get the camera to pick that up. It is very symmetrical. And how did the plunge grind come out? Very symmetrical. So that's one. Let's look at another one. Here we go. Same, about 1/8 inch margin of flat on both sides. Swedge looks pretty symmetrical. Whoops. My background's moving. And the plunge kind of hard to see, but very symmetrical. And let's look at the antique ivory. There's your flat. There's your flat. Swedge is super symmetrical on this one, and the plunge grind is as well. So I think I mentioned maybe in my drop video that Bark River had been using a new vendor for their bevel grinds. So for those of you who don't know, the water jetted knife blanks after heat treat are bevel ground by an external vendor. So a flat saber grind, leaving material for the Bark River hand convex later on. And in years past, well, in the last few years past before the change, the bevel grinding was getting very difficult for the guys at Bark River to work with because they were all over the map. Our last run of Gunny Sidekicks, some of them were full height convex, some of them, you know, the flat came down to here. Every knife was kind of different, and this time, man, they have really cleaned it up. If we look at the point or the tip of the knife, they came out super thin, just how I like them. And how do we do on the hafting? I always like to look at the butt end of the knives. So how similar are they? Very similar. As for how did the steel perform in sharpening, I was pretty doggone impressed. When I'm doing convex sharpening, I start out with a 220 grit paper, and I can tell a lot about the steel by how the burr rolls up. And very, very small burr formation that didn't hang around, if you know what I mean. I could see it rolling up on the edge as I'm drawing it back across the paper, and then it just sort of disappeared when I went to the other side, just fell off. So not a big soft hangy burr, but a super fine wire that you find with steel of a very high Rockwell hardness. I believe Mike tried to run this Magnacut at about 62 to 64 Rockwell. So it still should have plenty adequate toughness for use as a fixed blade, an all-purpose knife like I designed the Gunny Sidekick to be. But the edge retention is going to be awesome. And you will want to use this knife, guys. Oh, the handle's so awesome. Let's see how we came out in blade length. I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick up this measurement, but let's see. Not quite. 4 1/8 on this one. That one is a full 4 1/8. Maybe a touch over 4 1/8. And this one is exactly 4 1/8. So not a lot of variability in how much material they had to remove to get these knives to be at their finished state. Less than a 32nd of an inch over these 3 samples. So that tells you that the grinds coming in were pretty doggone consistent. And we got a finished product that came out really consistent. So now these have all been shipped directly to me for sharpening. Let's see how that super thin Magnacut edge turned out. Let's see. Will it push cut? You bet it will. There's one. Let's see. Let's see how mine came out. Silent. Whoops. You know, for a over 4-inch fixed blade that's made to work, pretty slicey, I got to say. I am very, 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 very happy with the way these came out. Now, yes, I'm biased because I got paid when these knives got purchased by the dealer, KniveShipFree, the best place to buy knives, period. But I'm also the biggest customer, right? And it's sort of not only Bark River's name out there on this one, but mine as well. So my philosophy was a small to medium-sized fixed blade. Let me wipe my fingerprints off. That would be petite enough for EDC use in a sheath on your belt without drawing too much attention to your knife, but also big enough, robust enough to handle all manner of camp chores. I got goo on there. There, that's better. And because it is a knife, I like it to be slicey, and I like it to have a fine, sharp tip. Because as Mike Stewart says, a knife without a sharp tip is pointless. And that's why we use the clip point. Now, could you baton with this, process firewood? Yeah. I'm not sure the Magnacut version would be my choice for that. Maybe the 3V, but I'm pretty sure this will handle it. But it is a knife. It's not an axe or a hatchet. If it's your only cutting tool, will it do in a pinch? Yes, absolutely it will. If you've ever processed wood with a convex ground knife, you know how awesome that grind is. But food prep, absolutely. Cord cutting, absolutely. All manner of woods, camp, everyday tasks. That's why we made the Gunny Sidekick. And this is, I think, the best run ever. Absolutely the best run ever. As far as the execution goes. Take your pick on the steels. We've run them in M4. We've run them in CPM 154. We've run them in 3V. Now we've run them in CPM Magnacut. Which some of you know was kind of a surprise entry. This run was intended to be in crew wear, but we could not find crew wear in the right thickness for over a year. And Mike had tons of Magnacut laying around, so that's what we did. I guess it was time for another stainless run anyway. So am I a proud papa? Heck yes, I'm a proud papa. Great job, Mike. Great job, Skittles. Great job, Rob. And all of the folks at Bark River. You guys killed it. You killed it. You killed it. So if you've been sort of waiting to purchase one of these in this large run we did, because you wanted to hear how they came out, if this knife is the evidence, Bark River is doing the best work they've done since I have been acquainted with them. So I'm super happy. If you are an owner, if you're waiting on one of your Gunny Sidekicks to get shipped to you from my sharpening batch, the two guys who own these knives will be getting yours before the weekend because they're going out today. Well, that's all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. I will put a link in the description. It will not be an affiliate link to the Gunny Sidekick Magnacut page at KniveShipFree, so you can scroll through the listings and pick the one that's right for you. Why not an affiliate link? Because I already got paid for these. Don't think it'd be right to double dip. Enjoy, my friends. Talk to you soon.